so safe that once they're completely full, can't put anything else in them. They're covered in that 8 feet of impermeable clay and gravel to filter anything that might get out, and then covered up with a huge layer of dirt, and then made into usually a park or a golf course. So a lot of the parks and golf courses that are being made today are being made over old landfills. The idea that we're running out of space is not true. Americans, we make 220 million tons of trash every year. But the Competitive Enterprise Institution says a 35-mile by 35-mile landfill can actually hold all of America's trash for 1,000 years at the rate we're currently making it. So for 1,000 years, with 35 miles somewhere in America, we could hold all of Americans' trash for 1,000 years. There aren't actually any landfills that are 35 miles by 35 miles, but it gives you the perspective of how much space we can actually use to put our trash in. Also, another great thing about landfills give off methane gas, which used to be a problem because they bury these landfills and this gas would come up through it. But now most landfill places have figured out a way to harness that gas, because methane is an energy gas, and they're using it, they're converting that gas into electricity and using it for power. So I think it's safe to say less things going into landfills is not actually a problem. So now we've crossed out all these reasons for recycling, and it leaves us with it makes us feel good. Let's see how good this makes you feel. Oh, page. The American government uses $8 billion a year on our recycling program. $8 billion of our tax-paying money. Anyone that pays taxes, our money is going into the system. It doesn't really do a lot to help the environment, and in a lot of ways it's hurting it more than helping. Now that we know that the U.S. recycling program doesn't really work that well. I'm sorry, I'm missing a page in here. And it's doing things like hurting the environment, using natural resources that are more scarce, and spending a lot of money. It doesn't really make us feel good to know that we're spending that much money on a program that doesn't really work. Maybe we need to do something about it. I think it's time that the government needs to reassess our recycling program and change it and make it more effective and start telling the truth to everyone out here in America about how our recycling problem actually works. In Portland, we're one of the biggest pro-recycling cities in the country. We've got huge recycling programs. We spend a lot of tax money on it. And it's the same here as in Portland as everywhere else. Like, these recycling programs aren't really doing a lot to help the earth. It doesn't save money, doesn't prevent the waste of resources, adds pollution to the environment, and reduces it. It doesn't reduce the amount of trees being grown, and it is way more harmful to the environment to recycle than to just use landfills. So a lot of you guys have been taught since 2nd or 3rd grade that recycling is awesome. We have to do it as much as we can. I understand that, so a lot of this it might be hard to comprehend because we've always been that recycling, environmental's good, the 3 R's, Captain Planet's kind of been shoved down our throats since we were just little kids. But just remember, a lot of these facts are true, and that the reason you don't really hear about it that much is because the government makes millions of dollars off recycling every year, and it doesn't really do that much good.